Hi guys, I again hope you're doing okay. This is the third installation of your carbohydrate metab. So we'll discuss glycogenolysis today. Alright, so from the word glycogen, so that's your polysaccharide of glucose stored in the body, and then lysis, that's splitting. So that's glycogen splitting. Okay, pag glycogenesis naman, that's the formation of new glycogen molecules. Okay. Same with glycolysis, that's breakdown of glucose, and then gluconeogenesis, that's formation of new glucose molecules from other smaller molecules or molecules. Okay, so for the glycogen breakdown, so this is pretty nice, and I hope you appreciate na. Easy lang naman to. What you need to remember is the point of attachment, okay, for polysaccharides. Okay, so I hope you still remember your biochem 1. What are the attachments for polysaccharide na glucose? Okay, so just to recap, yeah. So for glycogen, ang difference mo lang with starch is that this is more highly branched. Okay, so yung linear na structure mo, you have their alpha 1,4 linkage. Pag alpha, down yung position, and then yung branching mo, that's 1,6. And then yung mga connecting molecules na naka alpha 1,4 na rin. Okay, ang difference mo with starch, like amylose or amylopectin, the difference is they are less branched compared to your glycogen. Okay, sa body kasi, if you need emergency na energy, okay, in the form of glucose, pag mas maraming branching, mas marami kang cutting points. Kasi bawat dulo na yun pwede mo i-cut. So, mas maraming dulo, mas maraming starting point ng cleavage, mas marami kang glucose molecules na mako-call out right away. Okay? So, you need to remember the linkages, you need to remember the enzymes, okay, and the products, okay? So, starting material mo is glycogen stored in the liver, okay? Branching, again, it's alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6 because you have different branching and enzymes are specific, meaning that you will use different enzymes, okay? So we'll start with glycogen phosphorylase. So what it does is it catalyzes yung phosphorylation of the alpha 1,4 linked glucose dun sa non-reducing end, okay? In short, yun yung sa dulo, okay? Review your biochem 1, okay, to know sa yung reducing end. Okay, this is the reducing end, this is the non-reducing end. Okay, meaning wala ka dong part where you can actually hydrolyze it, parang ganun. Okay, and using your glycogen phosphorylase enzyme, you get to produce glucose 1-phosphate. But then, saan galing yung phosphate? Okay, it's from an inorganic phosphate. So, yun lang itatandaan when you look at the reaction, ano yung meron, saan galing yun, ba't biglang lumitaw yun? So, you have to double check. Okay. Now, ano yung problem natin? Okay. So, from the non-reducing end, just recap on this. Okay, you phosphorylated at the first position. Ano yung problem natin? Glycolysis utilizes glucose 6-phosphate and not glucose 1-phosphate. Okay. And so, meron kang additional step. Okay, which is your phosphoglucomutase. Di ba parang yung sa 3-phosphoglycerate mutase. Okay, so you have to move that phosphate into another position. Okay, so same na yung nangyayari. The difference lang no, with the 3-phosphoglycerate mutase dun sa glycolytic pathway is that it uses the histidine amino acid. But here, ang carrier ng phosphate mo is the serine residue. Okay, and so coming from your here, coming from this one, sorry. Okay, coming from the phosphate here, okay, from your serine residue of your enzyme, so it will transfer it to your glucose 1-phosphate dun sa 6th position. And then by the end of the reaction, yung phosphate na originally nasa 1st position, yun naman yung lilipat dun sa serine. So again, you can see it's similar with the 3-phosphoglycerate mutase reaction. Okay, now you have your glucose 6-phosphate. You can now enter your glycolytic pathway, the usual. Okay, so this one I included some more questions on the slides. Again, you answer it on your own. Okay, that's part of your review. Okay, so again, if you have glycogen, you need glycogen phosphorylase to cut it off, and then you produce glucose 1-phosphate, but then you need to convert it to glucose 6-phosphate kasi yun yung substrate ng glycolysis, okay, using your phosphoglucomutase. Right? So, ano nangyayari lang, glycogen and -1 kasi nababawasan ka ng 1 molecule per reaction. Okay? And yung fate ngayon ng glucose 6-phosphate, it will depend on the tissue. Like for the muscles, okay, I think I discussed this before. So muscles, you don't have this enzyme, yung glucose 6-phosphatase. Glucose 6-phosphatase, what it does is, kina-cut off mo yung phosphate group from glucose 6-phosphate. So magkakaroon ka ng free glucose. Sa liver, meron siya nun. Okay. Why? Kasi nandun yung stores mo ng glycogen. So, pag na-convert mo yun ng glucose 6-phosphate, sabi natin, originally, if you are in the glucose 6-phosphate configuration, you cannot go out of the cell. And so, sa liver, meron siyang enzyme na to. Okay? Para matanggal yung phosphate group na to, then you have free glucose na you can redistribute all throughout the body. Kasi ang goal ng liver is to regulate the glucose concentrations all throughout the body. Pag kailangan ni brain ng glucose, then liver will give out its glycogen stores, okay, and then give out glucose. That's why it needs the enzyme, glucose 6-phosphatase. Now it's different for the muscles. Muscles has glycogen stores also, okay? But it doesn't have this enzyme. Why? If yung muscle mo, kaya niyang i-cut off tong phosphate na to, then mauubusan ka ng glucose store sa muscle. If that happens, then your muscle will not be able to move the way it is supposed to move. Diba? Ang goal ng body is to conserve the entire integrity and the functionality. Okay? So, for example, sobrang gutom na ka na. You haven't eaten like for the past 14 days. Okay? And down na down ka na. So, or na-trap ka sa building and then you don't have any other source. So, if the muscle has this enzyme, okay, and i-give up niya lahat ng glucose na to, okay, then the muscle will not have its reserves for it to move during emergency crisis. And so that's one point. Okay, and that's nice. See. Alright, so for limited extremes, these are the molecules left after complete phosphorylase digestion ng glycogen. So, hindi mo naman siya ubusan kasi when you synthesize another glycogen molecule, then you need a starting point. Okay, but that's beyond the discussion. Okay. Again, you answered this question, what is reducing end in terms of structure and enzymatic reaction? Now, sabi natin kanina, diba, you have two linkages. You have the alpha-1,4, and we already discussed na you need glycogen phosphorylase. Now, for alpha-1,6, your glycogen phosphorylase cannot act on it. Okay, so you need another enzyme. So, I want you to focus here, but this is the linear, so pwede kang mag-glycogen phosphorylase lang dyan. But this branch, to, you can use glycogen phosphorylase because these are also alpha-1,4 linkage. Okay, but at a certain point, and if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 molecules ng glucose na lang, tapos nakakonect ka na dun sa alpha-1,6, this one cannot catalyze the cleavage already. So it has something to do with the structural configuration ng enzyme kasi parang naka-rotate yan doon. But then again, beyond na yun sa lecture natin. Okay? In short, it cannot cleave beyond this point. Okay? Now, what happens is that you have your debranching enzyme. What it does is, it will transfer this. At the same time, it will also remove your glucose. Okay? So your debranching enzyme, either the transfer nyo to, it's debranching. So mag-add on ka dun sa linear glucose polysaccharide where your glycogen phosphorylase can naturally act, and then this one can be cut off as glucose. So it has both transferase activity and glucosidase activity. Okay. Alright, so these are just diseases. So just review on it. We don't know what's gonna come out with the board exam. This is not really part of the curriculum. Okay, to summarize, for glycogenolysis or the breakdown of glycogen, you need 3 enzymes. Okay, so for the alpha-1 for linkage, you need glycogen phosphorylase, and then ika-cut off mo siya sa non-reducing end. You get to produce glucose 1 phosphate rather. But since that cannot enter glycolysis, you need to convert it to G6P with the help of your phosphoglucomatase. Okay, but then you have your alpha-1,6 linkage. So here you need another enzyme, which is your debranching enzyme, which has both transferase and glucosidase activity. Okay, so I hope you get it. Again, thank you for listening. Comment below if you have questions. And you can also raise the questions during our scheduled online consultation. Stay safe. Pwede kayo umiyak, but you don't